my man from Appleman Bikes, has a actual device so you can measure your legs to see what kind of crank arm you should have on your bike. Pretty cool.
So I'm gonna go measure that. I'm gonna go measure it and see what size crank I should actually run.
So while he's doing this, real quick, just tell me about this thing right here.
So this is the crank lengthometer, and it essentially just measures your inseam, so the floor up to the crotch, and then translates that to crank length. So we got about 170 millimeters. Oh, there we go. So I'd round down with the thickness of those shoes.
Right.
I'd say about 175. No, you keep them on, but I'd say 175 is about what you got. It's a good guesstimate. Measuring things aren't the best.
I tend to put out a lot more torque with a 180, but I want to try something that can spin more and get more revolutions with a 177.
I'm gonna tell you this though, see, because I'm a 180 person too. I switched to 175 because I rode a 24-inch cruiser, and the brand that I was sponsored by only had 175s. I got on the 175 and had a way better spin at top speed, and also your knees that you have an issue with. If you put 175s on, it's gonna be better on your knees. I realized with 180s going top speed on around the berm, for some reason, if you don't do it all the time, your spin is a little more choppy than it is on 175s. So that's,
I agree, yeah. I mean, you have, so reasons to go shorter are knee pain or hip pain.
Right.
So the longer the crank, you're flexing more. You're going like deeper into a squat. It's a lot easier to push hard with your legs straight than it is when it's really bent.
Yeah,
so
there is
and just general, I mean, you're like a tall guy. I mean, if you're 5'6", you probably shouldn't be on 180s. I mean, there's got shorter cranks for shorter people generally.
I know a lot of people.
And there's a fit, yeah.
And that side, a lot of short guys run 180s just for old
It's the old
school
school thing. That's what
Yeah.
we did. We went from 175s to 180s.
Yeah.
And running 45-16 gear ratio. But the thing is, when you watch them race, you see how they're like.
If you're
doing a wop like this on the
you're
track.
hiking your hips like that's not good.
It's not good.
You should just be going up and down. You don't need to be doing
maybe that I just learned how to do it and now I'm just used to it.
Well,
it's probably bad.
The body's an amazing thing and can adapt to whatever. So you go too long, you lose. You go too long, you're gonna lose time because you're dancing. The cranks are riding you.
Right.
But you go a little too short, and you're just gonna be able to spin a little faster. The shorter you go, the wider a range that you can pedal comfortably, like cadence, speed-wise. So you might be able to get up faster. So it's a balance. I mean, it's tough. You need leverage and speed.
Right. That's
so you got to find a balance.
Right.
With BMX, that's the thing. It's like you want to get out the gate fast, but then you also want to have a good top speed going on the track.
And
I found myself outspeeding myself on 175.
And those are opposing.
But I was running a smaller gear back then. I'm running 47 16s now.
But the crank arm is not the only lever in the system, right? You got wheel size and mostly gear size.
Right.
So you could go shorter with a smaller gear and get that pickup, but then you might also, maybe you go to 165 and you'll really be able to spin. I'm just saying, I
feel like it's a cookie.
You never know.
It's also getting used to it as well too, because for me,
it takes a while.
When I first threw the 175s on, I felt good doing a 24-inch, but I wanted to break it down to my 20-inch because I wanted to use the same crank length on all of them. So I used the 175s on my 24-inch. I haven't raced a lot yet with it, so this year I'm gonna do that. But I do feel a better spin.
Difference.
I don't feel as whoppy. But then I got a 26-inch and a 27.5. And on those, with the 175s, I do the whop again. So I put 170s on those guys. So I have 170s on my 26, my 27.5. 175s on my 24 inch.
Okay.
And 175s on my 20 inch.
And you're running different gears on all
I'm running
those
different gears, but they're all
to make
kinda
up for it.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're all kind of similar feel to my 20
Okay.
inch.
Okay.
So, and that's kind of how.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, different bikes are different use, right?
Yeah.
So you're riding different
same
stuff.
Use, actually, same use.
Oh, okay.
Different
Okay.
size bikes, yeah.
Yeah, if you're riding the same. You're riding 27.5
As a BMX
and
bike.
the same way as a 20.
Absolutely.
He
Okay.
has a street bar gravel bike that he's racing BMX on.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's just testing the hell out of it.
700C, yeah.
Oh, wow.
700C, I got 170s on that too. So
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, so that's gonna be interesting to see. Really, just want to get like gear ratios to kind of all match, and then see how they all are. But they all
Yeah.
feel good, even transitioning from.
Well, the
one
funny
bike
thing
to
with
the
crank length, you can feel a small change. You can feel it, but that doesn't mean it's actually doing a big impact. So you really like. I always tell people, don't even change for 5 millimeters. Isn't even worth, buying new cranks for.
Right.
Or 2 millimeters is nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the thickness of your gloves.
Okay.
Soles of your shoes are vary more by that. But you get 10 millimeter difference, and that's actually putting your body in a different position. So it can make some bigger crank change, makes a bigger change in your actual where your body lands on the bike.
Is it possible you say you do custom lengths, and I know they have 177.5. That's another size that a lot of people do. Is it possible you could do just a 177, no 0.5, and we go down 3 millimeters just to see? I know you're saying buy that big.
I hate the 2.5 millimeter.
Yeah. I was thinking 3 straight. Like if you're saying
maybe you buy enough of them.
Yeah.
Or I'll make you one.
Okay.
I'll make you
because
one.
You have those.
I'll make you 175s, and I'll put whatever number you want on it.
Placebo effect. That's a new brand he got. Placebo.
They'll be the best 177s you ever had.
It's the Appleman placebos.
That was good. Thanks. Good one. I got no comment. But yeah, I like to try the 175s because it's just something I've been trying to work it out, and I want to see if my spin would be better, plain and simple.
Yeah.
And with a shorter crank. So.
And if you got the mind that's open to it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest reason
I'm
for
open to it.
people don't like if you
change. Yeah.
If you change something and you want it to be the same as the old one, you're not going to be happy.
Right.
So if you just let's try it. That feels different. Let's try a different gear. Let's just see what happens.
Right.
Let me get used to it.
And we'll
let
find
me go too small. Let me go too big. And maybe we'll find something in the middle. It's hard if you can't try it.
I've always been a torque rider, so I thought because I'm torque and I can spin, that's the way to stay. But I'm willing to try anything. I want to see something new.
And even, 5 millimeters, it's not a lot. Like, you can still be a torque rider with 175s, I would guess.
Okay.
It's just a tiny bit less torque.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
It's just
there's
different.
there's also the tire depth and everything else that changes the your cadence and everything. So there's a lot that, like you were saying,
A lot of things changing, and you can't just change one thing, expect it to be the same, and say
it was a
175s are terrible.
Yeah. I'll use them on my freestyle bike, so I thought it was just for freestyle. That was all. I mean, literally.
Maybe you'll be free on the race bike.
Okay.
I don't know. Who knows?
I want you to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Crazy Out CAYNE, and this is a fireside chat with Remo and Appleman Cycles. Hope you guys enjoyed this fireside chat about cranks. What do you guys think in the comments, actually? If you're watching this, let us know in the comments what kind of crank arm length you use, what size bike you have, and how it affects you, the impacts and stuff like that, some of the things we talked about. All right, say back to you, Billy, guys.
Back to you, Billy.